Hi, I'm Paul Miles and I'm at TU-Automotive Detroit 2016. And today I'm joined by Peter Hawley, Volvo's Director of R&D at its US Tech Centre. Hi Peter, thanks for joining.
Hi, thanks for letting me being here.
Pleasure to have you here. Volvo has long been associated with a campaign for safety, right from its inception. Where are we going realistically in the next 10 years with safety?
Yeah, if we as I mentioned in the keynote today, I mean, safety has been something that is internally and also in our products. It's been the cornerstone of who we are and what we do for many, many years. It was founded in 1927 with a very strong pitch in this direction. For us, autonomous drive is a logical next step when it comes to evolution of our safety performance in the cars. It started basically with the old S80 2005 in a more modern shape with the adaptive cruise control, expanding case by case, scenario by scenario. With the XC90 we had pilot assist with two, I would say, limitations even. Lead vehicle was needed and a 50 kilometers an hour as a speed range. With the S90 that is launched now in Spain, that has been sorted out. We don't need a lead vehicle, and it's expanded in speed up to above 100 kilometers an hour. If we look forward, going forward, we have the Drive Me product in Sweden, and that is our playground to learn and to really understand the KPIs around a fully autonomous driving car. Equally important it is for the society of Sweden to also understand what does it mean for a society or road work, road buildings. We will have 100 cars in 2017 with real customers in the cars in that first pilot. And we have set a strategic direction to have a pilot in China and a pilot in USA as well. It's a question. The question you're raising is how does this scale into something you could buy and own, right? It's a big question, and that's the reason why we do the pilots. But we think, or I think, that it would take quite a bit of time. But in maybe 5 years, you would start to see this happening. But it's also one of the research questions in the pilot.
Yeah, sure. Well, a lot of experts feel that one of the biggest challenges to the autonomous vehicle is its ability to live on the same roads as non-autonomous vehicles. We've already seen incidents with the Google car, almost all of them involved a human not understanding what the robot was wanting to do. Do you see this being a medium-term problem that would need new infrastructure, or how do you see car makers getting over this issue?
If you see a fully autonomous car as a robot on wheels, then it's a question: how does that coexist with real, ordinary people? And the Google story, if I recall it correctly, was to understand what, who has the right of way and what should stop and who should go. That is one of the really tricky areas to understand, which goes into creating the intelligence on board at the vehicle to understand the traffic environment. Of course, that is built up. That research question or challenge is built up by the fact that you have the fully autonomous robot on wheels in coexisting with people. Frankly, it needs to coexist. That's what I think. Infrastructure support would probably help.
But then who will pay for that? That's the key.
Yeah, that's where it slows down. If you talk about having a quick transition in this area, of course, if you involve infrastructure, it's hard to see a scalable solution because every unit, even in US, different states has different even legal setups. And of course it gets more tricky if you go from continent to continent. The more we could make a car that handles the scenarios it needs to handle on its own, the easier it gets. But it's also very difficult to make a machine that sees and adapts as a human, right?
And just do you think some people say that the first autonomous vehicles are the ones that will bring ROI sooner rather than later to the people who invest in it, i.e. fleet as opposed to normal consumer vehicles. For example, Volvo make trucks, and the huge amount of money that can be saved on platooning long trains of trucks would see a quicker ROI than the commercial. Do you think that's more likely to happen?
It might be. I mean, Volvo Trucks is not part of Volvo Cars, or the other way around. We are two different business units with two different owners.
Sure.
Our store is fully connected to our cars. But for sure it's different setups, and AB Trucks has been working with the platooning, for example, in California. It makes a lot of sense, especially when it comes to the energy efficiency of a road train would be ideally much more efficient than having it driving all by themselves. You could also talk about the drivers and how you could maximize the value of the time they spend, etc. But for us, again, we have the cars, and we have the focus on our customers, and we think a lot of the pain points is connected to the daily commute, where we are stuck in a traffic environment, typically where it's very crowded, it's a lot of stop and go. You would like to be in many other places if you just had a chance, and that's where we are focusing on and trying to sort out.
And realistically, do we see that being in the showrooms by 10 years' time?
We have the pilot in 2017. So in Sweden we have up to 100 people utilizing this and being able to live in this environment and try it out. It will coexist with ordinary people. Scaling wise, it's 2 more pilots coming, and then the transition from there into the showroom where you buy it, it's a question mark. And I would guess I'm on the positive side. I'm a development person. I'm on the positive side, but it's a couple of years to go there.
Sure, fair enough. Thank you for talking to me.
Thank you.